you want to talk about the Toni Storm thing, it's very simple. What I think my biggest issue with Meltzer is when something happens and he didn't say before, and suddenly it happens, and the next day he's like, oh yeah, well I heard this and I heard that, and it's like, dude, you're saying that you heard 6 months worth of shit when you didn't say anything, and you charged $10.99 for a newsletter. So how did you know? Like, he's always reactive to everything, and what he says a lot of the time is contrary to what I say. The difference between me and him is when we're talking about Toni Storm being fired and having a reason behind it,
or released,
one of the reasons we already covered. So we already have credibility by saying that the WWE took her off television to make her lose weight. She didn't want to lose weight. They made her lose 25 pounds. And if you're watching the show and you don't think she lost 25 pounds, like, trust me.
You can totally see it. Totally see it.
My colleague here does a pervy voting competition each year. And
Miss Lingus, yeah.
Yeah, so he knows when these girls are changing their appearance. And it was crazy, like, that ass didn't really go with that belly.
See, I don't even think she was belly more than like it's hips side ass. You know, it was obviously, we all know she bottom heavy. She got a fat ass, which with a PH, by the way, and it's not even a bad thing, not a bad thing at all. But you did see that she got in better shape and she was up. And the other thing that you were right about that you did mention before, and I don't think you ever mentioned that this is one of your stories that is right on the money, is you said anyone can ask for their release and get it except for this, and this. And Toni asked for a release, and they just said, go ahead. So here it is, which is, I wonder if she's just like, I'm sick of this place. It's just,
and they're very
Britt
scared.
Baker. Did you see Britt Baker, what she tweeted out? She just tweeted out a picture of Toni Storm.
Yeah, well, that's where she'll end up going. So there's a lot of other moving parts to this. They're very scared of people who say that their mental health is struggling, then they always let them go. That's like
the easy way out, for sure.
The easy way out. So with her, it was a case of all of her friends were gone. She wasn't happy about that. She wasn't happy with her utilization. She lost 25 pounds to take a pie in the face and have her identity stripped away with the whole Lost in the 80s gimmick that she was building. They kind of moved away from that, and Vince McMahon was trying to build up an underdog, which she doesn't really want to be. So with her being the underdog with no real identity, stripping away that 80s gimmick, having no friends there, being told to lose weight, and also in the arenas, people weren't really on board with the character, because a lot of the times in the house shows they were cheering for Charlotte as opposed to Toni, because they're obviously more familiar with the character. So this is reports I'm getting from crew. So all this adds up to her having a release. And as I said, the credibility sits here because we have parts of the story before she left, the same way with Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Whatever you say about that story, we had parts of the story, as proven this week, where we said, where's Scarlett? And I said, when they bring him in, they want her to wrestle. They're sending her down to NXT.
And she said flat out, they want me to wrestle. So I was wrestling in dark matches to start the show.
And I was the only person that ever said she's going to brush up on her wrestling, because they want them to bring them in as a tandem, because everybody must wrestle. So
I think where they mention a lot, and not to shy away from it either, is that you said because she'd been around the block a few times and they wanted to do something to Kross to like see him get by himself without her. And they bring that up, which is weird, because it's like, but that's in tandem with her learning to wrestle and getting out there to wrestle. So there is no proof that that is not part of the case. Do you really think Karrion Kross is going to say on Renee's show, they wanted to stick it to me because she's been with multiple guys and I'm jealous about it?
Here's the thing, that was taken out of context, because what I actually said is that the WWE know that she's got friendships outside of Kross, and that she's been with some guys. And
do you know who? Do you have any idea like who she's dated? We don't know if she banged. You know who she's dated? I don't even know.
Only Seth is the only one I know.
Really, Seth been there?
So with that. What I said is that they feel that he's short with people backstage, and they made their own assessment that was the reason. That why he was like that with particular guys, because they said that she is more friendly with people than he is, and they made the big assumption that perhaps he has an issue with the fact that you know, his wife knows so many people and he's more standoffish. So not his wife, girlfriend, but whatever. So
fiance.